Welcome back to Metal Heroes Review, episode number 64. We're here reviewing episodes 13 and 16 of Spielban. In the case of 13, well, 13 is basically this. And it is kind of an odd I don't know how you would describe this episode. So, you have Spielban driving along doing patrol. Actually, he's not driving, he's actually looking at the water. And all of a sudden, he's this little girl who's crying, and he's wondering why she's crying for, and then she just leaves, but leaves her backpack behind, and figures who she is. And lucky enough, like he goes dig around, maybe one of the kids know who this girl is, and then basically the only young girl in the whole group, like, oh, I know who it is. That's Sunshine. So they drive to her house, and it's a good thing that basically they have the young girl giving her the other girl her backpack, because it would seem kind of weird and probably uncomfortable for her, for a guy who's probably about 15 years older than she is, giving back her backpack. And it's like, she's like, thank you, give this back to me, I'm really busy right now. I mean, and then we find out that the house is being controlled by the Wolf Empire. And the reason? General Death Dart and the spy army are forcing the scientists to make a bio life form. And the whole episode is basically trying to have, like, stand up for himself. Of course, he does introduce himself, and he basically tells the Warthog Empire is evil. And of course, she does making food and coffee, which, as far as I can tell, the Warthog Empire doesn't have a problem with this at all, with a little girl making her father food. Now, here's the thing. This is Japan. This is not unusual. Where his wife is complete mystery. There's no mention of a wife. Either she passed away or she divorced him. My guess is that she may have passed away, because he very much cared about the kids about his daughter. And of course, they're being blackmailed each other. Basically, if he doesn't cooperate, he'll be hurt. So, and of course, they asked each other thing. She didn't say anything, but then pretty much basically after some convincing, and well, have to, of course, Spielban breaks in the house, and of course the girl's protected along with her father, and then all of a sudden they're attacked by jellyfish. Yeah, basically Dr. Bio, and making one anyways. So, and the operation was a failure. Dr. Bio actually was praised for making a new bio life and was pretty strong. Even though the thing was defeated, he basically had one request. He will continue making them in exchange for destroying the posts thing to turn Helen to Helvina. And Queen Medora is like, that's fine. And the thing is destroyed. And Helen does not know it's destroyed. She doesn't even appear in episode 16. You see her briefly, like she's working at Wokik. In one episode, she's basically a golf instructor. Yeah, she keeps getting a new job every episode, all because she's afraid of running to her brother. Now, in the case of the next few episodes, it's like, okay, so the next one is how should I describe this for episode number 14? It's called The Planet is Our Map of Tomorrow. Oh, yeah, okay, so I see a picture. So I know what basically this is. So, Spielban is basically chasing down a bus which has been hijacked by the way he's riding his Helvon. The whole thing is about developing this motorcycle he has this episode, which I'm like, wait, didn't we see this always with Snyder? Yeah, with Snyder. Yeah, it's pretty much a very similar story, where it's like, okay, so and they chase the warehouse, and of course they can't really break it with the guards with the drill because there's bombs everywhere. But lucky enough, basically, he tries to call his motorcycle, but it was taken down via basically an elevator, and it gets trapped. And they're trying to take it apart for his technology. Now I'm thinking Dr. Bio's reaction is a bit weird, because he's from the planet where the thing was made on. Well, there is a reason why for that, and that was because basically he was retrofitted. which of course he had no choice in the matter. So eventually the motorcycle does free itself, thanks to the fact its electric brain is very sentient. And of course they're blocked by the monster of the episode, who's basically like a minor thing this episode. And of course you just take out the laser field protecting the kids and the bombs. Well, the warehouse blows up anyways, but everybody gets out, and of course eventually destroy the monster anyways. The very next episode is, let's have basically a beach episode, Japanese style, where it's like, and here's something kind of weird. So the monster is basically another one of the one of the mecha monsters. Even though I can understand that being in the water, but why in the world is the spies able to breathe in the water, despite the fact they're human looking? I thought this was really weird. Like, either that the Wolf Empire can breathe in the water, they don't really define it at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, it's like they get stung by this jellyfish, and of course, there comes the idea, let's make jellyfish repellent spray. Now, I'm sure this is basically the writer poking fun of the shark repellent spray. Yeah, this is probably a nod to that. They do spray it on, and everyone else gets basically clear, except for the little girl, who gets victim by a little scar on her leg, and she wants to go back to the ocean. At one point, you see her like in a tub. I'm not sure what the heck this thing is. It's just... It's kind of interesting. And I think they're both like either skinny dipping. I don't know if it's a hot spring. They don't really clarify what the heck this thing is. It just looks like some room that just has this water, and both these two girls, both naked. Of course, you don't say anything about it. I'm thinking they might be wearing something, but I'm not going further than that. It's just like she wants to go in the ocean, but luckily she stopped. And she can't go in the ocean because she cannot swim. I'm like, that's interesting. So, after being the monster, everybody's all cured. Like, you have this one guy's son. We have these two girls, their friend. She wants to go in too because she's infected. And the whole plan is to transfer people to fish. Billions of people to fish. That's the plan. But after the monster's destroyed, then of course everything is stopped. The very next episode, this is definitely something that was ripped up. It was basically put into, I think it was both Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. Where this is a reused plot from both those two series, where the villain organization takes over a village, but usually they have a reason. The reason is different, but the whole premise is very similar. And the reason why, because they want to put the Warthal's guardian spirit into the lake, in a cave lake. And they have there for a bit, and then of course basically need to escape. So you have two guys basically just trying to escape, but it doesn't work. So the young boy proceeds to go under the ground, underneath the little cabin they're in. And he's able to escape, and notices like, there's a mechanical device, these fish are dead. So he just sends a couple to the river, and just by sheer coincidence, Spielban, along with Diana Lady, just proceeds to be in the air looking in his water. Guess why? Just be on the safe side. So then he finds the fish, like, Warthog plankton. And he comes to the kid, he goes to explains everything. Like, those are the grunts. Well, he doesn't say grunts, basically the Warthog colloids. And he frees the village, no problem. And the monster eventually destroyed. He doesn't do a slip thing, which I find that to be interesting. Probably because basically he's able to get everybody pretty quickly away. Though he does do it in episode 15, he does not do it in, I think it was this is the one in particular 16, where he ends up actually fighting General Deathheart. Like, in the previous episode, he knows who he is, but he never spoke his name before. In the previous 14 episodes, he's seen him maybe once or twice, and now he knows his name. When did he know his? When did he chance to know his name? At least in the Sentai series, when they meet the general, at least they ask the frickin' name. Here it's somehow he knows. In the case of the previous series I watched for Spaceship, at least they frickin' asked. This one you don't see them asking, and I'm assuming either he's probably known the name for quite a while, but he's never spoken his name before at all. Yeah. And his fight scene with him was fantastic, even though he gets beaten. At one point, his little like car he drives can also, like in the case of the Gyros, can also turn into basically a flying vehicle, which, yeah, interesting. But all in all, 4 really good episodes. Now, they're a bit odd per se, but I would say probably 15 is the most best episode of these 4 because they're trying to take out one of his vehicles, which is interesting. Yep. But yeah, that's particularly a particular view. Oh, by the way, before I end here, Diana Lady, whole thing of the Diana hip press and trying to seduce the Keltons, she still does that this episodes. So that's it, particular video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do the dislike button. Well, next up is going to be a comic corner, and it's on the Chain Soldier. Okay, next video.